Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Kurt, aka the Vitruvian Gamer, and we're here with a new playthrough, a new solo playthrough, and this time we're doing Dune Imperium. And I put the box too far away to show you the box. I'm sorry about that, but it's Dune Imperium by Dire Wolf Games and designed by Paul Dennen. Now this has got some hype, so most of you probably heard of this game. Most of you, or all of you, probably heard of this IP. Dune, very popular IP. So this is a game, this is a deck building game with worker placement, where we are trying to get the most victory points, with this track here on the right, by doing stuff, getting influence mostly here with the 4 factions here, or the 4 houses, and doing multiple things, getting spice, money, and water to pay for stuff that will hopefully gain us more points. We play maximum of 10 rounds, which is depicted by these cards. I know there is a little bit of glare here, I'm sorry about that. These are the conflict cards. This is also a timer, so the game will end at the end of a round in which either one of the players at least reaches 10 points, or when this deck runs out at the end of that round, it's also game over, and most points will be the winner. I'm not going to go too much into details about setup, just like very quickly. This is me in the middle, so this is Paul Atreides. This is my character. I've got a special ability, we'll talk about that later, and I've got 2 random rivals, as they call it. There are 2 that you cannot use in a solo play, but these are the Glossu the Beast Raban from House Harkonnen and Count Ilben Riches from House Riches. How convenient. And we all start with 2 workers here, and we can get 1 more. I can get 1 more here with the Swordmaster spot, and they will get a 3rd one when we reveal them. I put them in between the cards as setup tells us to do. We have some cubes that you will see later, and in this difficulty that I'm doing, it's the middle one, the normal difficulty. They also start with 1 water and 1 intrigue card. Intrigue cards can give you a bunch of things. They won't use all those stuff. They will just at certain points, when they have 3 intrigue cards, they will discard them and get a point. So they mostly get points by getting a bunch of resources and paying for points. Okay, that's about it. Now, one more thing. This is the market where I will be able to buy cards, like in most deck building games. I've put the deck here because we don't need this 4th spot here. These are the 3 garrisons, 1 of each. We all start with 3 troops in there. That's also if you play easy mode, then the rivals wouldn't have any troops yet. We have a battle track here that we will see, but the one thing you don't see is the solo play and 2-player game deck, which is replaced by my phone. There is an app from Direwolf that helps you do that instead of shuffling cards and drawing cards. It also tells you what to do, so that's a little bit easier if you prefer that. Okay, and I think that's about it. I'm just going to start and we will see what happens. So this is a deck building game. If you play with multiple people, you all have the same starting deck of cards. So I shuffle those, and you will draw 5 of these. So these are my 5 starting cards that I drew. And there's a bunch of things on here. I will explain these as we go. But first, we will play a rival's turn, because the player to my left, Glossu, is starting player. So what do they do when it's their turn? Well, that depends on the app here. So you just draw a card and you do what it says. So in this case, it says that they will go to fold space, which is a spot on the board. So they go here. Now, when they place their character on one of these factions here, they will always gain 1 influence with that guild. So they gain 1 influence with Spacing Guild, and the bottom part is only when we do combat. At the end of a complete round, there will be a combat phase, and then we look at this red border here, so we don't have to do that. So that's it. That was his turn with his first worker. Now, important is you can never, well, most of the times you cannot have 2 workers on the same spot. So this spot is already blocked for me. Talking about me, now it's my turn, and this is how a player's turn works. So I'm going to have to play one of these cards in order to be able to send one of my workers on the board on a certain space. In order to do that, I need to play a card that has a symbol on the left here, and it has different symbols that corresponds to the spot where I want to go. For example, if I want to go here to the secrets here, I have to have a symbol of that guild, so I could play one of these 2 cards in order to do so. So I have to think about what I am going to do, because I also want to see which cards that I want to keep. At the end of the round, these bottom things are important, but you will see that very soon as well. So what am I going to do? So I really want to go for a 3rd worker pretty fast, so maybe that might be a good idea. So I might want to focus on that. So I could go here where I get 3. I could get a little bit less by going here, get only 2, but then I will go up in the influence there. So what will I do? I could do both, but I only have, I want to have 8 because I need 8 money. That's the cost. So I need to have a card with a green symbol here that I don't have yet, and I have to pay 8. So I could try to slowly get there, and I think I will. So I'm going to, I'm going to play this one here, the diplomacy card, and for one of those symbols here. And these cards go in, you cannot see it on screen, but they go into your play area, so they're not discarded immediately, so they go into a play area. And I will use my first worker to go to the Emperor, gain 1 influence, and gain 2 coins. There we go, and I will place them here. So that's my first action, and that's it. That's the only thing I can do. I can do 1 action. Either I do an agent action, because these workers are called agents, or I can do a reveal action, but that's for later. All right, so we go now to Ilban, and he is going to draw a card, and he has a Harvest Spice card. Okay, so it says Harvest as described on the card. Well, I'm not going to read it for you, but I will tell you. And deploy up to 2 troops from the garrison. Now, I will still read it. So we have to send an agent to the space with the most bonus spice, or total spice if tied. If no spaces have bonus spice, reveal another card. So these are the 3 spots where there can be bonus spice. These spots are made for that. But at the beginning of the game, there is none, so we have to draw a new card. I'm pretty sure we'll get one of those cards later. Oh, there is one more. Okay, oh, one more. How good that app shuffled. Alright, so he's going to do a rally troops action. So he will place his worker on the rally troop spot and recruit 4 troops. So what happens when you do 4 troops, when you recruit 4 troops? There's the spot, by the way. That means he takes 4 of their troops from the supply and they place it in the garrison. So that's rally troops, 4 troops recruited. You can also deploy troops, but that means they would go from your garrison or from a supply here in the middle to the battlefield. But he didn't do that, so we go to the next turn, and that's Glossu again, so he will draw a card. And he is going to fold space again. He really likes that spot, but he can't. So if there's already someone there, even if it's himself, they draw a new card. Hardy Warriors. So Hardy Warriors is this spot here, right at the bottom with the Fremen. So very important. So first he will gain, as the app also tells you, that's very easy. If you follow the steps, you can never go wrong. Gain 1 influence with the Fremen. He will recruit 2 troops. That's these 2 cube symbols here. Means he recruits 2 troops and deploys them to the conflict. So he will put 2 of his units into the conflict. And then it says deploy up to 2 more from the garrison to the battlefield. So if he has 1 or more cubes here, or troops here, then he will deploy up to 2, as many as he can, so 2 more. All right, So this is the battlefield, the conflicts, and that's very important for the conflict phase, which I forgot to show you. At the end of this round, so at the beginning of the round, we should have revealed this card. I'm sorry about that. We will see who has the most power in conflict. And the first player, or the first who has the most, they will get the top reward, the second, the middle one, and the third, this one. So that means the one who has the most power in troops and combat power, they will get a point. The other one get the conflict card, 2 money, and the third place gets 2 money. So that's very important to know. A point, very valuable, as you know. You only go to 10 before the end game triggers. Now, troops are worth 2 combat power during combat, but you can also get, through cards, get some more here in the track as well. So he already has 8 combat power, which is already quite a bit for a first round. Okay, but anyway, that was his turn. Now it's back to us, and we have 4 cards left in our hand. And I still am. I think I was planning to go to the secure contract, get some money, prepare. Although the bad thing is, if I do this, I won't do this. And I will not be able to get a reward, because if I don't have any troops in the conflict, I am not alleged to gain rewards, of course. So I might want to do that, because it also gives me 2 money, and it might give me an influence card, or an intrigue card as well, which can help me as well. But 2 money, then that brings me to 4, and I need 8. So if I do that, I still need 4. On the other hand, if I do the 3, I can next turn I can do it again, and I get my 8 that I need to get the Swordmaster. It's a gamble. It's a big gamble, because I will be out of conflict for 2 complete rounds. But I think I'm going to go that way. So I play this card here, just only for this symbol, and this line as well. But I will tell you about that when that happens. So I play Dune the Desert Planet, and what I will do is send my worker to the secure contract spot in order to get 3 more coins, slowly preparing myself to get an extra worker. Okay, by the way, this spot here, the Mentat spot, you can get an extra worker for 1 round. Normally it costs 2 to go there. In a solo play with in the middle difficulty variant, it has a name. Let's see, in the Sardakar veteran, what we're playing, you need to place a 5 coin piece here in order to show that this spot is more expensive in this variant. Okay, so that's it, folks. That was my turn. Then we go to Ilban again, the Count, who will draw a card. And he is going to steal suits. So he's also going here to the Fremen. It's still free, hit this spot. And he's going up 1 spot, as the app also tells you to do. And then it says deploy up to 2 troops from the garrison to the conflict. Now, if we were going here, there are these spots that has these sword symbols here, like the one here, but there are a bunch of spots that has this. If you use an action on one of those spots, you always get to do the bonus action of putting workers or troops from your garrison in the conflict, up to 2. You can choose. You don't have to, but you can choose. Now, the solo player, he does what is being asked, so he will put 2 of his troops into the conflict. And that's it. So we're going back to Glossu. Now Glossu doesn't have any workers anymore, so he's out. And then it's my turn. I'm also out of cards. Well, not out of cards, but out of workers. I cannot do anything without workers besides doing my last kind of action. That's the reveal action. And then we're going to play all the cards that we still have and look at the blue border here and the symbols. Now, I don't have a lot. I only have this symbol, which is influence, or I'm not sure how it was called anymore. But this is what you have to buy cards from the market. The cost of the cards, they are at the right top of the cards here. So I have a total of 3. So I can buy cards for up to 3. And let me see what we can get. Well, the one that I just showed you might be interesting, because I can also go to one of the guilds, which is interesting. So it might help me to go there easy. or it helps me fight as well, so that's not bad. And this one here allows me to trash cards out of my deck, so that's also pretty important. And if you also have a Fremen in the play area when revealing, or again together with revealing, then you get also some combat. But I think I might want to have that one later, but I think I'm going to start with the one that I showed you, the Bene Gesserit sister. So she's going to my discard pile. I'm all out of cards, so I put everything that I played and bought in my discard pile, and that ends my turn, my reveal turn. Also, Count Ilban doesn't have any more workers or agents, so he's out of this round as well, which means we're going to the conflict phase. Now in the conflict phase, we're going to see how much they all have. So I'm not sure if it's very important, but still, the agents, they will also draw a card at this moment. So as we can see, the beast here, he has 8 because it's 2 for each troop. He will draw another card and adds the result here in swords, but that's 0, while Count Ilban draws a card for himself, and wow, he has +6, so he has 4 + 6, which is 10, so he still defeats the beast in the end. There we go, and that means that he will get a point. There we go, and that means that the beast will get second place, which is an intrigue card. So he needs one more to get a point, and he gets 2 coins. So in coins, they need 7 coins in order to get a point. And that's it. That's the combat phase. So all the troops that are being used in a combat or in a conflict, they go away. There we go, back to their supply. So they will need to recruit them again in order to use them and deploy them. And that ends our turn. I should have placed a new card here, which is Duncan, Idaho in this case, in the market. And that's it. The round is done. We put back all the workers or the agents where they belong. And we give the first player marker to the next player, and which is me in this case. For a new round, we reveal a new conflict card. Don't forget it's this time. Oh, and there they are, the workers, the agents, but that's too early. So at the end of this round, we have a conflict to go up in influence on one of these tracks, 2 intrigue cards, or intrigue card and 1 spice, or a card or 1 spice. So let's see what that will do. Okay, so we're the first player. We draw 5 cards again, which is the rest of our deck. So now we have a bunch of these. As you can see, there is not one single card that allows me to go up here now. So I will have to do something else. And this time I have the perfect card to go to that secure contract space that I wanted to go to. So I'm going to play it. So Dune the Desert, no, not this one. I wanted to do this one, the secret ring, the signet ring. So it has one of the symbols here that I use. So I'm using the yellow triangle to go up here. So I can get 3 more coins. So I have 8, which I really want to have my visit to the Swordmaster. And now for the first time in the game, I can show you what happens here. So if you use this a card, and this one in particular now, for its placement of a worker for these symbols, you can also, well, you have to do this. That's very important. Well, mostly. There are some exceptions, but for example, this one here, the Duncan, Idaho card, if you have to pay a cost in order to do an action, you don't have to do the action. Also, if you have to trash a card, you don't have to do an action. And I think there's one more thing that I sadly enough forgot. So the signet ring, what does the signet ring symbol mean? Well, it means that you can activate your discipline. So each player or character has its own special discipline action. And in my case, this green card symbol means I get to draw a card. Now I have to reshuffle my discard pile in order to do so because my deck is empty. So let's do that quickly and draw 1 card, and I drew a reconnaissance. All right, so that ends my turn. I got my money, I got my new extra card, and now it's the turn of Count Ilben, who is going to selective breeding. So they place their worker on the selective breeding spot. They go up one spot on the track, and that's it. One influence. Now, they don't do these actions next to it. So if I go there, I get to get all this stuff here. That's not what they do. The only thing they do here is gain influence, trying to score points. And in these 3 spots, they also send troops from their garrison to the conflict. All right, that was the Count Ilben. Now it's up to Glossu the Beast. And he goes to Kartak. And Kartak is the spot right over here. So he, as the card tells you, he's going to recruit 1 troop. And as the symbol of this swords means, they're also going to add up to 2 troops from their garrison to the conflict as well. So the one that they recruit goes to the conflict, and he only has 1, so he's going to place that here as well. All right, that's it. Now it's back to us. Wow, this in the beginning it goes really quick because we only have 2 agents. That's why I want to go to that 3rd agent very quickly, as soon as possible, and I'm going to do that. So again, I'm not fighting for this, which is sad because no matter what, if any of my opponents get 2 rival cards, they will score a point because they both have at least 1 already, and 3 cards are exchanged for a point. So I could still change my idea. Oh, and I forgot something at the end of the last round. I knew I was forgetting a step. So every spot here of these 3 with the bonus spice, they each place without an agent gets a bonus spice. So I should have done that. So they get more valuable, as you can see. So I could go there and get some spice, and I could sell spice in the future here. So maybe I want to wait 1 more turn in order to get that 3rd worker, because I'm not sure if I'm going to use it now. Although if I get that 3rd worker now, this round, I can still deploy him somewhere. So why not? So yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to pay this dagger for the green symbol, which allows me to send my worker or my agent to the Swordmaster. It cost me 8 coins, so I pay everything that I got, but I get my extra agent. Perfect. All right, back to Count Ilben. Count Ilben, draw the card. All right, so this is a card that tells us to remove cards from the market. So this is the deck. It's a little bit confusing sometimes, the deck, and you have to remove card 3 and 5. So we're going to discard these 2 here. And that's sad because I wanted to buy that Fedaykin Death Commando card, but those are gone and they get replaced by Lady Jessica. And oh, this one shouldn't be in here. This is one of these 3 piles here. They are piles that are always there, unless they are sold out, that are always there. Like in Clank, you have a couple of decks that, or in Dominion even. All right, the gun chapter. All right, so bunch of stuff that we can buy. Now this does that, but it doesn't. It's not his turn, so it just is an action that happens in between, and he draws a different card, and it's going to Arakin. So Arakin. That's right over here. So also the same thing as the Kartak. They will recruit 1 troop and deploy it to the conflict. So he's joining the conflict as well. And he adds up to 2 troops. So it means he has 6 points there. And as you can see, it also has the signet ring. So he will activate the signet ring ability, which gives, in this case, gives him 1 coin. There we go. All right, and then we go to Glossu, who will do the Hall of Oratory. So sending his 2nd worker over here. And that just does recruit 1 troop. So that doesn't do a lot, so that's not too shabby for us. So he will recruit 1 troop, which is not sending it to the battlefield. It's just going in his garrison. Okay, and now it's back to me. Now, normally I would have gotten out of actions, but now with my 3rd agent, I can do 1 more. So I got 4 cards left. Let's see what we can do. Now this one doesn't do anything but give us some money to buy stuff with. Well, it's not money, but let's see, where can I get some? Do I want to have some troops in there as well? I could go to one of these spots here. This costs me 2 water. I don't have that. This costs me 1 water. It would give me 3 spies. That would cost nothing, but only gives me 2 spies. Now, sadly enough, I wanted to go to one of these spots here, but he's in the way, so that's a little bit sad. I could want to go here to get some water, but that's not possible because I don't have the correct symbol. So, what will we do? Do we want to join the conflict? I think we do want to join the conflict, although we cannot win it. The maximum that we can place there is 2. We'll be bringing at 4, and we have 1 more card here that gives us +1 because these symbols are +1, so that will mean 5. But the green player here, they already have 6, so I would only be joining in for a card and 1 spice. So I'm wondering if there's nothing more interesting that I can do. Boy, I wish I could go somewhere there, but it's just not possible, so that's sad. So they really took the spaces that I really wanted to go to. So I think I'm just going to... Maybe I can pass as well. It's sad because I put so much effort in getting extra worker, but if I keep it like this, I could get this gun chopper, for example, which might be interesting to keep them a little bit down, a little bit on conflicts. Or I could, let's see what's interesting. Oh, there's 1 more of these cards. Oh, someone shuffled these cards badly. So there's a recruiter here. Gets me, yeah, recruit troops. It's not too bad, but I want to have a decent symbol on the left. There's nothing there for real. So, oh boy, that's a difficult choice. Yeah, I think I'm going to play this one still. So let's put that last worker here. Get the spice. So this is bonus spice, so you still get 1. And I get to add up to 2 of my troops to the conflict because of this symbol here. And I think I'm not going to go for the second place or first place at all, but let us just join in on the fun so we can still get a conflict card maybe. So let's just go here with 1 troop, and that will end my turn. They're already out of turn, so now it's my reveal turn. I get 3 to buy stuff, and I get +1 to my combat. So not really very interesting because that means I have 3 here, but hey, but 3 to buy, and I think I'm going to go for oh boy, I was planning to go for maybe cheap one first. Though the sad thing about these cards is that they have so limited spots that they can send to your workers to. But it allows me to draw a card if I use it. But maybe I'm going to get this one for now. The Dr. Wen card goes to my discard pile, gets replaced, this time by a power play card, which is too expensive for me. So I guess I'm also going to get this card here, the Arrakis Recruiter, placed in my discard pile. And this right over here, a new one here. And that will end my turn. Now it's going to the conflict phase, so that means the green player has 6, but maybe more because they will draw a card. Yeah, he will add 3, so there you go, it goes to 9. The yellow player has 4 because it's 2 troops and draws a card, adds 1, that's 5. That ends the conflict phase. So that means the green player, they will go up one of these tracks +1, and that he goes up where he is the lowest. So he will move one of these 2 here, and I can choose. If there are multiple options, I can choose. So let's place him here. Okay. Now he also gets 2 intrigue cards. So he's going to trade those 2 intrigue cards. And the one that he already has, he's going to trade that in for a point. Green, wow, he's at 2 already. I'm at 0. Now, the beast, they get 1 intrigue card, which is sad, because that's also his 3rd card. So he will go up on the track, leaving me behind in last place. And what else does he get? 1 spice. Okay, and they will need 7 spice to trade for a point. I can choose between 1 spice and 1 card. I'm going for the card, and I draw it here. I get 1 to play in combat phase. So in the conflict, I can use it either for 3 swords, so +3, or I can retreat up to 3 of my troops back into the garrison. So if it's just a disaster, I can still put them back, and I can deploy them in the future. So this is one that I will keep, and that's it. That ends this combat phase. That ends this round. So we get our workers back, our agents back. I have 3 of them. Now I should first do the bonus spice, right? So I was here, so that's occupied, but the 2 other spaces, they get spice added to it. And yeah, so don't forget to do that first before you take these guys away. And that will end this round. Count Ilbon will be the new starting player. And yeah, I discard all my cards that I played. And we go to the 3rd round, which, well, this is my kind of an introductory part, the first 2 rounds. If you want to see more, then go to the next video, which will be online at the same moment as this first one. So you can keep on watching. You don't have to wait for it. So you can just go to the next video here. I'm already going to show you the next part that we're going to fight for. So this is very interesting. The Siege of Kartak with this symbol here. That's for next time, folks. That's what we're going to combat for. And I hope, well, these have to go as well. I hope you enjoyed this first part and you click on that button or wait for the automatic start of the next part. Thanks for watching this part already. Hope you're enjoying it, and see you in the next part, or see you soon. Bye bye.